Hello, welcome back to the club here on Sky Poker Channel 846. Amy Trodd is with us, involved in poker in a very big way, not only playing but also in a PR kind of way with Betfair. Remind us of the players that you work with.
I work with Annette Oberstad, Sorel Mitzi and John Tabatabai.
Three big name players in the world of poker, are they not?
They are enormous, Dan Lobb.
Did you struggle with John Tabatabai's name at first?
I don't know, I hope I'm saying it right.
I think it is right. It's one of those where I had to wait until I'd heard enough people say it to just copy it, because when you read it, I still go, don't try and read it, just say Tabatabai.
Most people have a problem with Sorel, I think, more than...
Yeah, we did say, he came in here and he goes, so it's Sorel Mitzi, and he went, no, it's Sorel Mitzi. We go, fine, we knew that, we were just copying.
Nice guy.
So lovely guy.
Yeah.
Although he was bored, he was skinhead at the time.
He was bored.
No, he was skinhead at the time. And then ever since, all I see is these pictures of him with all this hair, and he doesn't look right. Has he got hair now?
He does have hair.
Have a word with him. Tell him go back to the skinhead. Little fashion tip.
Okay, now we promised that we get to some of your emails. We will do that shortly. Firstly, though, let's get to a question that was given to us to camera from Dwayne, 024.
Okay, last night I was playing poker, and at heads-up stage, I didn't know how often to bluff. So my question to the analyst is, how often do you bluff at heads-up stage?
How often do you bluff at heads-up stage? Are you an expert at heads-up? Do you play much heads-up?
Only when I get that far, which has only been on a few occasions.
Was bluffing a big part of your heads-up game?
Yeah, I mean, I think, obviously, there's only one of you has to win the pot, and there's only two of you, so you have to go at it for any opportunity, really.
Dan, how often do you think you should bluff?
All the time.
All the time?
No, I mean, I don't know. Should there be a certain percentage of time?
No, I mean, actually, that's the first answer, is there shouldn't be a percentage of bluffing. It's not like 1 in 5 times I should be bluffing. You bluff when you think that a bluff is the best thing to do. If you sense weakness and you've not got much yourself, but you think a bet would win it. I would say in heads up, the definition of bluffing kind of changes, though, because most of the time heads up, you're not going to have a hand. You can't fold everything in hand heads up. So bluffing in heads up is more about position and aggression and momentum. Certainly heads up, you can't afford to just wait for good cards and hit the flop and go hurrah, because most of the time, A, that won't happen, and B, your opponent won't come with you anyway. So there's a lot more posturing.
Do you sit and watch Annette play when she's involved in a big tournament? And if so, can you gauge, or have you figured out if she's got any tells or anything, or when you know that she's bluffing at a pot?
No, I don't think anyone can crack Annette. No, not really.
It must be fascinating, though, seeing her up close and spending as much time as you do with her.
Yeah, no, definitely it is. I mean, it's funny watching everyone else's reaction around the table, I'd say. But
and then another question I want to throw at you. This one comes from John Thor, otherwise known as Ladybird. He says, how can you judge whether you're getting better as a poker player? What would you say might be an answer to that?
Well, I suppose if you were winning more, then you know you're better. But I suppose you need, there's a lot of luck involved with winning a tournament, of course. So I suppose just getting deep, getting deep in tournaments more consistently.
What about you, Dan? Dan's come on in leaps and bounds since we started this 130 odd shows ago. How do you know, Dan, when you're becoming a better player?
Well, I'm cycling off even more thousands into my private bank account.
Only thousands, Dan. Let's not be modest.
And millions.
Thousands of hundreds.
Yeah. Honestly, I mean, I think because money's involved in the game inherently, I guess that's a good indication, isn't it?
Yeah, well, it can be. The only problem I would say, because that's the obvious thing to say is, well, it's down to profit. But sometimes you can play badly and still win. It's why I always say, whenever people say, when should I move up? And I say, never make your target monetary, because you might be an absolute muppet, you make some dreadful calls, you make some dreadful plays, but the cards hit you in the face, and you make thousands. And that can go on for quite a long while. So the worst thing is to go, wow, I've only been playing for a week. I called a raise, a re-raise, and an all-in with Pt3s and made a fortune. I don't know how that goes. I think I'm ready for the next level, and that might not be the case. So I think the truth is you've got to be pretty honest with yourself and analyse your game and just go, I think more often than not I have the best hand. Because Dan said this to me a bit earlier on, that's why I threw it at Dan, is that Dan said, yeah, it's against the play, I keep getting sucked out on, and it's like, well, that's a good thing, because a bad beat means you went in with the best of it and someone had to get lucky against you, rather than it always being the other way around, which is that I've got the worst hand and I need a bit of luck. So I think self-analysis, Ladybird, John, just got to be honest with yourself. Keep a book.